Hello and welcome to Devil's Advocate. Has the West Bengal government and the CPM in particular bungled land acquisition in the state? That's the key issue I shall raise today in an exclusive interview with CPM Politburo member and Rajya Sabha MP Sitaram Yechuri. Mr. Yechuri, let's start with Nandigram. The Chief Minister has accepted that what happened was a big blunder, a result of a hasty decision. Can you accept that it's damaged the standing of the West Bengal government and the CPM?
Not at all, not at all.
Not at all?
No, not at all. On the contrary, it is
enhanced. Hasn't damaged your standing?
No, number one, there is no blunder.
Oh, he says so?
No, he didn't.
He did?
Because
I'm quoting you.
Yeah, let me please bear with me for a minute. That the question of land acquisition is a right which the state government has. No other authority that may issue any other orders is absolutely out of their mandate.
Let me interrupt and correct you. No, the government has committed a blunder by issuing a notice on land acquisition in Nandigram, the Telegraph, 10th January. It happened because of our mistake.
Don't quote
the
me.
Hindustan Times, 10th January.
No, don't quote to me what appears in the press. What he said, which I know what he said, and which is in a written form, was that the Haldia Development Authority issued some instruction, which is not its mandate. And that instruction is the cause for a lot of confusion.
He didn't say some instruction. I'm quoting again. The government has committed a blunder by issuing a notice on land acquisition in Nandigram. Not some acquisition,
listen,
a notice.
Mr. Thapa, please listen again, that you go by his written statement, which is available, which is on the web, and where he says it is a development authority which has no authority.
Hang on a moment. It's headed by a CPM MP. It's entirely within the jurisdiction of the West Bengal government. It could have been stopped by the government. It acted without authority, no doubt, but the government carries the can.
No, again, that is why, because it is a left-wing government and because it's a fact that we can intervene to stop it, we have stopped it. And that is why it's not a blunder.
You say it's not a blunder. Let me approach this matter a second way and prove to you that it's in fact an even bigger blunder. No. Hours before the Chief Minister's admission, the CPM Politburo in Delhi issued a press release claiming, as far as Nandigram is concerned, there has been no notice issued for land acquisition. The truth is that the Haldia Development Authority... Let me finish.
Please, it has no authority.
Let me finish. It may have no authority, but it issued a notice for land acquisition.
It cannot.
The chief... It did.
No, but it cannot. It doesn't have the right. It doesn't have the authority.
They were posted on Panchayat office walls.
They are video offices.
So when you issued your press release, were you ignorant or were you deliberately misrepresenting the situation?
Neither. What we were saying was actually representing the situation whereby that the state government has issued no notification for land acquisition.
Forgive me. The state government may not have, but a body... Just a moment. A body that operates under the state government, the Haldia Development Authority, a body that has as its chairman a CPM MP, Lakshman Seth, issued this. The notices were then pasted on Panchayat walls. As far as the people of Nandigram are concerned, they're not going to distinguish between whose notice
issued what?
A land acquisition notice, as the Chief Minister says.
Again, what the Chief Minister said, again I'm saying, go by his written statement. He doesn't say land acquisition notice because Haldia Development Authority cannot issue a land acquisition notice.
So all the newspapers that I'm quoting, the Telegraph, the Hindustan Times, all of which talk about land acquisition notices are wrong.
Absolutely. Haldia Development Authority has no authority to issue any land acquisition.
How about the statement issued by the CPM Politburo hours before the Chief Minister's own statement where you said Nandigram, as far as Nandigram is concerned, there has been no notice issued for land acquisition. It was issued.
No, state government has not issued any notice.
But you don't say state government in that sentence. You don't say state government.
It is the law of the land, Mr. Thapa. It's the law of the land that land can be acquired only by the state government according to the Acquisition Act.
Can you accept this then? That as far as West Bengal is concerned, if the state government didn't issue a statement, maybe, but nonetheless it is responsible for a statement issued, an acquisition notice issued to be precise, by a body that operates under the jurisdiction of the government.
No.
Are you saying to me the Haldia body doesn't operate under the state government?
It does, but the point is it doesn't have the authority.
It may not have the authority.
It's like finally saying, does a panchayat work under the Indian Constitution?
It's not like that at all. In this instance, the MP who heads the authority is Lakshman Seth, a CPM MP.
Correct.
It is a terrible blunder.
Not at all. On the other hand, the question is that the development authority, which has no authority to issue any notification for land acquisition, and the state government has not issued a notification, and which is what we said, and which is the correct fact.
I'd like the people of Nandigram to be able to make that distinction. As far as they're concerned, notices went up on the panchayat wall. They were issued by a development authority. They're not going to sit back and say, oh, look, it's been issued by the wrong authority. No. We can't take notice of it. The right authority has done it. You're being facetious in this explanation.
Not at all. That is
being unfair to the people.
Not at all. On the contrary, it is because it's a CPI-led government and because it's the CPM Politburo as the Chief Minister, he immediately clarified saying that that notice is infructuous.
He clarified not immediately, he clarified a good week later.
Not a week later,
yes,
not
because
at all.
Let me quote to you, not just the Chief Minister, let me quote to you what the chairman of the Left Front in Bengal, Biman Bose, said. He said, and I'm quoting, the Nandigram is the outcome of a heinous campaign based on malicious rumors designed to instigate the local people. It's not.
Of course.
The people were instigated by notices pasted on panchayat walls by the Haldia Development Authority. Biman Bose is either lying or he's uninformed.
He's neither. And don't distort him, because
I'm not distorting him, I'm quoting him.
Absolutely, your quote is correct. But what
so then I'm not distorting.
You are distorting by saying is he lying. No.
I'm giving you a choice. He's either ignorant or he's lying.
Neither. The choice is neither. What he's saying is absolutely
he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Not at all. It's absolutely correct. What he's saying is absolutely correct, because what happened on the 3rd and the 4th, in the night of that, was that there was a central team that had gone there for an entirely different purpose. That Midnapur is getting the country's best award for sanitation work. And for evaluate that, the central officers go there, and that meeting, somehow the rumor is spread that they have come here to acquire land. And that is what triggered off this attack.
Forgive me. The rumors that in fact are being referred to were also mentioned by the Chief Minister repeatedly. He says in fact, and he accused the Trinamool Congress and he accused the Congress party itself for spreading malicious rumors.
Correct.
Now we know that the trouble was not a result of them spreading rumors. The trouble was the result of notices put up by the Haldia Development Authority, pasted on panchayat walls.
I'm sorry, Mr. Daba, how are you arrogating to yourself the right to say that now we know? How do you know?
Because the Chief Minister admitted it.
You cannot.
Hang on a moment.
And in fact,
let me then
the Chief Minister said very clearly.
Let me quote. Before you say he said it very clearly, I'll tell you how we know. This is the Chief Minister's word. It happened because of our mistake. It was a big blunder and the principal cause of the mayhem that followed.
No.
That's the Chief Minister. Hindustan Times, 10th January.
Please, for heaven's sake, I'm saying go by his written statement, which is posted on the website.
Why not go by what he says to journalists and which are printed in newspapers?
It's not said to journalists. It's not said. They all picked it up from God knows where. But that statement
the government
is there.
has committed a blunder by issuing a notice on land acquisition. Buddhadev Bhattacharya, Telegraph, 10th January.
Again, let me repeat it in whichever language you want. That notice was issued in English. Simple English, then yes. The notice was issued by the Haldia Development Authority, which does not have any authority to acquire land.
Let's leave Nandigram aside. You refuse to accept that the government made a blunder. Your Chief Minister seems to have admitted it. You seem to be questioning what he's admitted. You refuse to accept that the Haldia Development Authorities issued notifications. The Chief Minister accepts they've done so, but you refuse to accept that was the cause of the problem.
Mr. Thapa, please understand that there was, if there was a ground for confusion, which there was when the Haldia Development Authority...
No, listen. Created by an authority run by your government.
And that was corrected. The point
after
is...
the event.
No, that was...
After the trouble. After the provocation.
And that cause for the trouble are these rumors and this malicious intent, which is correct.
All right. Let's agree to disagree on that. We leave the audience to judge whether the truth lies with the questions I've asked or with the answers you've given. Let's turn to Singhur. In the case of Singhur, your government has claimed that of the 997 acres that you need to acquire, 954 have been voluntarily surrendered. Mamta Banerjee, on the other hand, says that the owners of 464 acres, that's 46% of the total, have filed affidavits in the Chandranagar court asserting not only that they've refused to sell their land, but that they refused to accept your compensation. And the list of those names have been given by her to the governor. Now, I have with me some of those affidavits. Here they are. And I also have with me the list of the names of the people concerned. Sorry. There it is. How can you prove to me that Mamta Banerjee is wrong and you're right?
I'll tell you how. Because what she has given is being inquired by the state government, and till now...
That doesn't mean it's wrong.
Please listen. Till now, 350 acres of what she claimed are part of the acquired land are outside of this land. The affidavits that have been filed do not fall under the purview of the acquired land.
It's interesting that you should say that.
350 acres is entirely from outside.
It's interesting.
And that is how I'm proving it wrong.
It's interesting that you should make that point, because let me point out to you the exact opposite. On the 28th of December, Nirupam Sen, the Industries Minister in Bengal, said that within a day or two he would release the list of names of people who had voluntarily surrendered. 2.5 weeks have passed and he hasn't released that list.
The 350 have been released, my dear. They have been released.
The 350 you're talking about are trying to prove Mamta wrong. I'm saying, where is the list of names of people who voluntarily surrendered the 954 acres? Those names have not been released. They have not.
They're on the government's website. You please go there and check. All the names of those who have voluntarily consented and their land earmarked, they're all there.
24 hours ago, when Nirupam Sen was asked when he would be releasing the list of names that he promised on the 20th of December, his answer was, I'll do it soon, but he wouldn't say when soon was.
24 hours ago, you couldn't have asked Nirupam Sen because he's not in the country at the moment. But anyway, he's not been here for some time. But the entire list of all those who have voluntarily consented is all there pasted on the website.
If you are so confident of what you're saying, even though Nirupam Sen does not support what you're saying, but leave that aside, if you're so confident of what you're saying, and leave Nirupam Sen aside, if you're so confident, why then, when 954 acres, as you claim, have been voluntarily surrendered, which is 95% of the total, is Section 144 applying in Singur? What is the need for it?
I'll tell you. If you want to really know the reason, and bear with me, I'll tell you. Because in Bengal, the politics that has been there in Bengal for a long time, there have been incidents in Keshpur and Garbeta some years ago, if you recollect, where outsiders go there armed, create violence and mayhem, and on that basis, the politics is sought to be played out in Bengal.
But if the land is being surrendered voluntarily, outsiders will have no influence.
Please let me complete. Now the Section 144 was imposed when the outsiders with arms went there and attacked, like in Nandigram as well. Please listen to me. First instance of violence there, 19 people injured, 16 are policemen. 16 are policemen. So who's attacked?
Hours ago, Medha Patkar tried to go to Singur and she was not permitted to go.
Of course, there's Section 144.
So what is the need for Section 144?
See, there is, because of the very fact that outside elements who are going there with arms.
But why are outside elements able to influence people who voluntarily surrendered land? If it's voluntary, it will have no influence. It will not be the cause of violence.
Arif, my dear, please again understand the politics. It's not a question of going there to democratically influence people. They are going there with arms in order to create violence and mayhem.
I'll tell you why they are successful and why you have to impose Section 144.
They are not successful. Let me tell you.
Can I finish and tell you why? Sumit Sarkar, one of the leading historians of this country, a lifelong supporter of the left and perhaps of your party in particular, has said in the Indian Express, there is no doubt that the vast bulk of the villagers we met in Singur are opposed to the takeover of land and most are refusing compensation. That's why you have to impose Section 144. Mamta is correct.
No.
You're wrong.
Absolutely wrong. And you are absolutely wrong in the sense, and that is why, with Sumit Sarkar, whatever his observations they may be, the list of all these people have been sent to him. And we have sent to him that you examine it properly. The question is, Mamta is wrong because what she wanted to do was a repeat of Keshpur and Garbeta, which was not allowed this time. And it was not allowed, and that is why Section 144
What Mamta was doing was representing the voice of people who have had forcible acquisition of land imposed upon them, many of whom have been physically beaten. Even 80-year-old women, as Sumit Sarkar says, have been beaten. She's protecting them against your government's forcible acquisition.
This is precisely what all of you said when Keshpur happened, Garbeta happened. Mamta is championing the poor there. And when the elections took place,
why confuse the issue by bringing up Keshpur and Garbeta?
Solid
Singur
beating
is separate.
No, again, because the same assertions that you have all been making. And for heaven's sake, all of you introspect once. That if you said, in Keshpur, Mamta represented the poor, what happened to her in the elections?
You're very good at twisting the issue. I'm not talking about Keshpur. I'm not talking about Garbeta. I'm talking about Singur. In Singur, you happen to be in the wrong. She happens to be representing people who are being forcibly acquired.
You just watch in Singur. Again, now what will happen with the same people?
Let's take a break and come back and let's continue this discussion when tempers have cooled a little bit on both sides. We'll be back in a moment's time to continue logically rather than polemically. See you after the break. Welcome back to Devil's Advocate and an exclusive interview with the CPM Sitaram Yechuri. Mr. Yechuri, let's continue with Singur. Not only have you acquired land forcefully against the wishes of the people, but what's worse, can I finish? What's worse is the accusation that you've used brute force to do so. Even 80-year-old women, according to Sumit Sarkar, have been beaten. And as a result, Jean Drez, Arundhati Roy, and the People's Union of Civil Liberties have issued a public statement accusing your party of violating human rights.
Yes, I mean, and in fact, we know that they have issued that statement.
So you accept that you've been using brutal force?
Again, I contest very, very strongly your conclusions that you are drawing and the sweeping conclusion that all this has happened through brute force. And remember, please bear with me now for a minute. When Medha Patkar and Mamata Banerjee were there on a dharna, you had people queuing up to collect the compensation checks. Why? And for once, if you
one of your great champions and defenders in normal circumstances.
If you are appealed for reason and not polemics, then please bear with reasoning. And the reasoning is there were 12,000 people who collected compensation checks for a land of less than 1,000
only
acres.
9,000 have collected it as yet. 12,500 are entitled to do so if they accept, but it hasn't got to 12,000 as yet.
And then listen, and out of the 12,000 odd,
9,000.
Please, 9,000 and odd of landowners have collected. Many of those are sharecroppers who are being given compensation.
Thank you. I'm glad you brought up sharecroppers. We'll go aside and talk about that. Many of the sharecroppers are not getting compensation at all.
If you want reasoning, please bear with me. The sharecroppers are recorded in Bengal. There are, in addition, a number of those who are not recorded. The cases of those who are not recorded are being examined. But of the landowners of less than 1,000, please don't interrupt me to follow the reasoning. 10,000, even if you were to take landowners for less than 1,000 acres of land, means what? There were 10 owners in 1 acre? And what was the livelihood that they were getting? Please listen. And why is it that they're accepting this package? Why is it that they're voluntarily accepting? Because
they're not voluntarily accepting. Of course they are. 464 acres as alleged by Mamata and as sworn on affidavits in the Chandanagar court.
There are more than 4. I told you, all of them are people outside of this area.
I, Shri Dhananjay Das, son of late Jeeva Krishna Das, have refused to accept. Here it says, here it is, in black and white, a photocopy.
I told you that. 350 acres of this is outside of that land.
Can I interrupt?
They were not.
Can I interrupt? Because I think there's another issue that you're not giving me a chance.
No, please let me complete. You have appealed for
at the moment.
No, you are appealing for reasoning. So let us reason.
I appealed for reason.
Please bear with me for a minute.
In short form.
Oh, please bear with me for a minute. That if 10 owners in 1 acre of land were having a level of livelihood, the compensation package and the training and the guaranteed alternative job later is a more attractive package. Why they have opted for this?
I accept that the compensation is generous. I accept that it's more than the market price. But the truth is that people like their land and don't want to give it up.
That is where
that's the truth.
That is not the truth.
It is the truth.
That is not the truth.
And hang on a moment. Can I add a second truth? You're running out of time. That's why I want to add a second truth. You talked about sharecroppers getting fair compensation. I put it to you that in fact the Trinamool Congress and the Sumit Sarkar have publicly said that the vast majority of sharecroppers and agricultural laborers are outside your compensation scheme.
No, that is why, because those are those. Please listen. Those are the people who are not recorded. And the reason why...
that's 38% according to Brinda Karat.
That is
38%.
62% are recorded.
But 38 are not.
And those 38 are being examined. All
they haven't got compensation as yet.
They will, the moment the examination...
If they're being examined, there's a good chance they may not.
If you go tomorrow and say, I'm a sharecropper there, should I give you the compensation? No, what logic are you talking about?
Can I come back to the question? Can I come back very quickly? We've got 1 minute left. Can I come back to the charge that I began with, that you've been using brute force? Sumit Sarkar again. We found much evidence of force being employed. We met many people, men and a large number of women who had been beaten up. And one moment, more than the police, party activists whom the villagers called cadres did the major part of the beating. Your own activists are beating people.
I'm sure this is an issue we will discuss with Sumit Sarkar.
He's published these allegations in the papers.
I know he's published these allegations.
Arundhati Roy says that your party is now on the other side.
Let them, my dear. The point is that they'll also have to go by facts on the ground. And the facts on the ground are entirely different from what you are trying to make out.
So you've said, let me end with the question I began. Can you accept that you have damaged your party and your government's image, perhaps beyond repair?
No, we have brought this entire question of compensation to the national agenda. The compensation we are giving in Singur is the best and the most exemplary, and now everybody will have to follow suit.
All right, I let you have the last word. A pleasure talking to you on Devil's Advocate.